Hello everyone, I'm RiverFox and welcome to the channel, and today we are carrying on with our Canny Valley AFK endurance build series. Now if you have missed any of the videos in this series, then do check the playlist, it will be linked in the description down below. But we are going to be carrying on with our builds, and today we are on the South amplifier, and for me this is my amplifier D. So they will come from both the east and from the south, but today we are going to be covering the east builds. So if we get over there briefly, I will take you through all of the builds, and then I'll go through the usual step by step as to what they all are. So this is all of the builds. Now they are going to be spawning around about this area along here. They can spawn anywhere under here at all. This is just our main lobby shield, which for earlier waves will take a lot of them out. You will get the occasional ones that are going to take some long routes around, so we do have some other sort of traps and things set up various different places just to catch them all out. And yeah, it does look quite extensive, but for some of the waves, when you do get like your lobbers and your flingers, then you will definitely need things like that. But that is our build. So what we are going to do is we are going to start over at this point here. Now over here you will have your natural sort of mountain edge here, where it kind of drops off then onto the ground down there. So for our step-by-step builds then, we are going to start at this this sort of bit of mountain here. So what we need to do, we need to come over here. So we are standing facing this left-hand side of the mountain. And first things first, we are going to place a broadside right in front of you there. And you are going to place a wall launcher then on your left-hand side. On the floor, you are going to place a tar pit, and up above you then will be a ceiling electric field. So from this square, if you move over to your right one square, and you are going to place another broadside directly in front of you, and on this one you are going to have wooden floor spikes on the floor and another ceiling electric field up above. If you move over to your right one more square from there, and another broadside directly in front of you, a wooden floor spikes on the floor and a ceiling electric field up above. Now from this point, if you turn now to face your south, and you are going to move forward one square, and you will place a wooden floor spikes on the floor, and up above will be a ceiling electric field. So from this point, if you move to your right one square, and you will place a wooden floor spikes on the floor, ceiling electric field up above, and to your right you will have a broadside. Now on the other side of this wall, over at this square, you will place a tar pit on the floor. You will have some wall darts then on the left hand side, a broadside directly in front of you, and a ceiling electric field up above. So from this point, let's have a look. Yes, from this point where this broadside is, you will need to come to the other side over here, and we're going to do this row of block off here first, and then we're going to get into that section in there. So for this square here, you are going to have your edited cone, which will be pointing to your southeast, and you will surround it in walls. This one will already be here. Once you have done that, if you then move forward one square, and you will have another edited cone pointing to your southeast, and again surrounded in walls, and that will do those two rows of block off. So what we'll need to do now, if you come back over to this point over here, from here, now heading down this natural ramp down here, and you will place at the top of this, you are going to place a broadside on your right hand side. Up above you are going to have a ceiling drop trap, and if you then move to your left one square, and you will place another broadside on the left hand side and another ceiling drop trap up above. If you then walk down about halfway down the hill here, the ramp, and you'll have another broadside to your left and a broadside to the directly in front of you. And up above these walls here, you will place a blank wall up there, and you will place a blank wall up there as well. And right up above on the very top, you will have the ceiling drop trap. If you move over to the right one square, and you will have a broadside on your right with another blank tile above it. And in front of you will be another broadside with another blank wall above that. And up on the ceiling up there, you will have your ceiling drop trap. So that will cover this section here. Now, as you walk down this this ramp, you are going to have a wall dynamos directly in front of you. I mean, you can put any other trap on there. I just shoved in a wall dynamo, but I mean, probably a sound wall would also be good for any husks as they are coming through it. So you can also put a sound wall in there. If you then move over to your left again and walk all the way down to the bottom of this this natural ramp, and you will have a tar pit on the floor. You will have a wall launcher on the left hand side and a ceiling electric field up above. If you turn move over to your right one square, on your right hand side will be a sound wall. On the floor will be a tar pit. Up above will be a ceiling electric field. And behind you will be a wall launcher. So from this square, if you then move forward one square, and you're going to place some wooden floor spikes on the floor, wall launcher on the right hand side, and ceiling electric field up above. And if you move forward one more square from here, and wooden floor spikes on the floor, you will have wall launcher on your right, a broadside then in front of you, and a ceiling electric field up above. So from this point now, we need to come back over to this square, which is just at the top of yet another natural ramp here. And as you walk forward just to the top of this ramp, you will have another ceiling electric field up above. And if you walk down to the bottom of this ramp, you are going to have a sound wall in front of you and a wall launcher to your right, and you will have another ceiling electric field up above. Now, don't bother placing any structure on the floor, otherwise they won't be able to actually come up this section. So from here, if you walk forward and now turn to your east, and we are going to start heading out towards this section here. So just from the edge of this sound wall here, and look up, and you are going to have a ceiling drop trap at the same height as our electric fields. Move over to your left one square, and you will have another ceiling drop trap up there. And then if you move forward again another square from there, and you are going to have another ceiling drop trap, and then to the right will be another ceiling drop trap, and one more square to the right from there again will be another ceiling drop trap. So that will cover all of this section here. Now we do have this big area along here as well. So the first thing you want to do from this point where you are here, if you move forward right to the edge of this this bit of the mountain, and it will be the first place that you can place a wall in. So you will place a wall at that point. If you move over to your left, now this one will be left blank, so if you move over to your left again, and you will place another wall in there. Now behind these, along these three squares here, so this this wall is going to have a wall launcher on it, and you're going to place a floor with a floor launcher on. If you move forward from here, you will place another floor launcher, and if you move forward from here, you will have another floor launcher, and you will have a wall launcher then on your right hand side. Now from this, we are going to go up on to the top. So behind these walls that we've placed and along all of these three squares, you're going to place your edited cone or backward stairs, and they will go along like this. So you will have one over this wall, you will have one above the blank tile, and one over this wall as well. So that will cover those bits. So if we come back to this square here, and at the top of this, you are going to place 1 floor, 2 floors, and 3 floors. So that will take it to the end of the mountain there. So from this first square, if you then turn to your north, and you are going to place then a second tile there, and a third one, and a fourth one, a fifth one, and a sixth one. So you will have 6 along here and 3 along there. And then all you will need to do is square this off. So you will stick another 6 along that second row and another 6 along that row as well. Now once you have got to those, and from this square that you were on here, if you turn towards your west, and you are going to place another floor tile there, and if you move on to that square and turn to your south, you will place another one and a third one there, and it should join up then to the end of our ramps. So that will do all of our ceiling pieces, and all you will need to do then with the, well, you don't have to do that one in there. I could have left that one over the amplifier blank, but with the exception of that one, you will then fill all of the ceiling pieces around here with our ceiling drop traps, and that will cover the majority of the spawn area. Now from this point, we do need to add a few extra sections in. So you will see this natural ramp which does go up here. So at the very top of this, you will have a sort of archway where they could go through. So right in front of that, you will place a wall launcher, which is going to fling them back all the way down here to hopefully make them travel up that way. So from this point here, if we come all the way back down this and start heading towards the east, and you will see another natural ramp up here towards the south. So if you come up to the top of this, and we have another natural ramp here. So at the very bottom of that natural ramp, you will place a wall launcher, and that again is going to fling them back down there, hopefully to go the correct route. If they do come up this far though, they will come up along the top here, and we have yet another natural ramp at this point. So from the top of this and facing to the south, you are going to place a wooden floor spikes on the floor and a wall launcher directly in front of you. From here, if you turn to your west and move forward 1 square, you're going to have a wooden floor spikes on the floor and a sound wall directly in front of you. And from here, if you turn to your right and move forward 1 square, and you're going to have a wooden floor spikes on the floor. There is no need to put any structure in there. I wouldn't worry about that. If you move forward again 1 square, and you will have wooden floor spikes on the floor, and you will have a blank wall to your left. And the reason we do add the blank wall in here is we do have a section behind this where if we didn't have a wall in, they would be bashing at this structure here. So that's why we place that one in. So from this one, move forward again, and you are going to have wooden floor spikes on the floor. You will have sound wall on your left hand side, and above that will be a blank wall. From here, move forward again, and more wooden floor spikes on the floor. This time a wall launcher on the left hand side and another blank tile then up above that. Now we will get into this this little bit of lobber shield and everything after, so we'll go into that later on. So from here, go forward again, and you will have a wooden floor spikes on the floor and a second wall launcher then on your left hand side. From there, move forward a square again, wooden floor spikes on the floor, and this time will be wall darts on your left hand side, because we don't want to go flinging any husks over there, otherwise they're going to land on top of that and start lobbing and flinging from there. If you move forward 1 more square again, and you will have wooden floor spikes on the floor and another wall darts then on the left hand side. And if you go forward 1 more square, and this time you will just have wall darts on the left hand side. There'll be no floor piece on this one, and this should fetch you Nope. Okay, we go one more square forward and another bare wall this time on the left hand side, and this will now fetch you up to the edge of all of those builds that we did just now. So from this tile here, this blank tile, you will move forward into this section here, and these walls will already be in there. We placed them in from our builds earlier on. So from this point you will have a edited cone which will be pointing to your northeast. This wall is there, that one is there. So if you place a wall in front of you there and a wall on your left hand side. Now from this section, if you then move forward again into the next one, and exactly the same, you'll have your edited cone which will be pointing to the northeast. That wall is already there, so if you place a wall in front of you and a wall on your left, and that will finish that row. So what you'll need to do now is turn and face your south and move forward into this square, and from here you are going to again have another edited cone to your northeast, and you are going to surround it in walls. And from this point, if you turn to the east and move forward one square, and we'll have another block off in here with the edited cone to the northeast and surrounding walls. So that will finish all of the block off there. Now just before we get into those bits, if we then come over to our flat pieces here, and you are going to place anti-air traps. You will need to have 6 of these. They don't necessarily have to be on these 6 squares, they can be anywhere along here, but just make sure you do have some anti-air traps. These will do for both lobbers, flingers, and also when you do get your hot rocks wave later on, then it will help to take out some of the meteorite rocks. So that will cover that section. So now we need to get over to here. So all of these walls have been placed in already. So if you walk along this the back of this, and you will see these structures we've already placed in. So from the point where this first wall is, you are going to need to place then a floor tile, just like so, on the very top of this natural ramp. And from this, if you move forward one square, now I do have actually a trap on the top of this just in case. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pop over here and I will show you what that is, because basically all it is a box like this with, there we go, and I've got no more structures so I can't, but we will get out of it. Okay, so we will have a box like this. This is what it's going to be like, and actually it will be pointing that way. Here we go. It's going to be pointing to the east, and there'll be no floor piece in it, so you'll just have your ramp, or I mean you can have it like that as well, but it's entirely up to you. You'll have your ramp then, and it will be surrounded by walls. Now the reason I did place a trap on the top of it is because sometimes they might try to actually break through that structure there. So if they did, then I did place a ceiling electric field just on the top of it. So if ever they do get through, then they're just going to get zapped straight away by our ceiling electric field. So that is basically what is underneath this square here. I can't actually get into it, so at least that will show it for you. So from here then, from this top piece that we have placed in, we have still got these 2 walls, they've already been done. So if you come up onto the top of this end wall and place a floor tile with a anti-air trap, and you will place another one just to the right of it there with another anti-air trap. So from this point, if you then move forward towards your north, and you will place a 3rd floor with another anti-air trap. Move forward one square and you are going to have your edited ramp or backward stairs, which will be pointing towards the east. So that will be one of those. and you will then place a second one and a third one along as well. And from that, if you then point towards your east and go to the edge and place another one, and then if you go forward and turn to your south, and you will just keep following and placing these backwards ramps or stairs in all the way up to the end of this floor piece that we have placed. So you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So you will have 6 along the top, and that will finish that section of our lobber shield. So that is pretty much most of it there. I'm gonna cover all of this lot in on the next video, because it all kind of ties in with those builds over there, so I don't want to confuse with those at the moment. But yes, there's nothing else. We've covered those in another video, so all of the defenses are set there for our south build from the east. So I hope you do find this video useful. If you do, don't forget to drop that like down below, smash that subscribe before you go, and if you turn on the notification bell, then you will always get updated of all my videos when they come out. If you do buy anything from the Fortnite store, please consider using code RiverFox, as it will help me out a great deal. And don't forget to check that playlist in the description. It will cover all of the other builds and amplifiers that I have set. So until the next one, I hope you have a lovely day and stay safe, my friends.